Hello, 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 hello. My name is Boitumelo Kewagile. I'm an events planner and an IT officer by profession. I'm a mom, and I started this podcast, which is Blossom with Boeti, today on the 11th of January 2025. Why did I start this podcast? There's a huge need for us to cover the mental health aspect in our country and the nation at large. Botswana, or maybe the world, is facing a mental health crisis, which, if not tackled, a lot of people would be in a chaos. Our country is facing mental health challenges, which every day escalate to GBV, which escalates to workplace toxic culture, which escalates to failed marriages and any relationship. How can we help people who are in maybe suffering from mental health or diagnosed with mental health? We can be compassionate to them. We can be empathetic. We can be also thought leaders. During the training or maybe the recording of this season, we will be bringing in different professionals, be it HR professionals, be it therapists, be it psychiatrists, be it leaders or maybe CEOs of certain companies. Why are we doing that? Or community leaders. Why are we doing that? We are doing that because we have realized that for certain behaviors to be cascaded downwards, it has to come at the top. Like, for instance, I'm a mom. When I do maybe a certain bad behavior or a good behavior, my daughter is going to watch that and start to maybe show that behavior. So now, as leaders or maybe caretakers, it is important for us to model behaviors that are nice or maybe they are good for other people to inherit. And we can start that, showing that by being good leaders, servanthood leaders, or maybe leaders that build, that nurture, that inspires, rather than destroying and taking away and cursing. As a mother, I had to look into myself to realize that what do I want to leave, or maybe the legacy that I want to leave as a parent or as a community builder for my country. Then I started embarking into therapy. That was in 2021 when I was diagnosed into depression. Well, I started therapy through a recommendation where I was diagnosed with depression, and then it showed me that I had childhood traumas which now then showed certain ways or maybe on how I was living my life or how I navigated my everyday life. When we go to therapy, it helps us to get different views on how to problem solve, on how to critically think, or maybe to be self-aware on certain things, which most of us are lacking. We are behind in terms of self-awareness, and it really narrows down the issues of us trying to apply ourselves when we have crisis at our hand. And how can we do that? It's through introspection or solitude moments. As a person, would you say when you are alone, you take back or maybe you think about how your day was and what went wrong, what you could have done better, and what you could try to improve, or maybe what can you try to improve in terms of for yourself, people around you? Lastly, I would like to say this podcast is going to help to break stigma. It's going to talk about real life issues where we talk about experiences or storytelling helps us to break down the stigma and stereotypes and take away the shame. Let's say, for instance, I just told you that I had depression, and there are so many hurtful things that I had to face throughout my journey of me coming out and saying I have depression. And I'm trying to say, hey, we can help other people survive by sharing our stories, by sharing how we we survived from the diagnosis. If I could tell you how many inboxes, because people are ashamed, if I could tell you how many inboxes that I get from people who are diagnosed with depression, or maybe they have people that they're living with and they're affected, you'll be shocked. And even the stories that we share, that every day, Motswana, mostly the people in the low cost, or maybe the less privileged people, because it's really affect mostly the less privileged. What are we trying to do as a country to help others to navigate mental health issues, or maybe just to try to improve our thought patterns? We are having a high escalating issues of GBV, mental health, and our country can do better by every person having something to do as a effort. What am I bringing into the table? This is Blossom by Beauty, trying to bring in something to the table and say, can we talk about this? When we talk, we have ways to at least know what we can deal with. If we try to solve a problem that we don't know the root cause of, we are literally shooting the blanks. So can we go back to the drawing board and build from questions? Or maybe if I give you a questionnaire, or maybe I give you, let's say in customer service, they will give us the feedback from maybe a project or maybe a new product. Why can't we give ourselves time to have feedback and say, how can I improve in terms of the service that I'm giving you? In most cases, with my daughter, at times I give her a questionnaire and say, how am I doing as your mother? And at times it's shocking, the feedback that she gives me, but it's the willingness for me to sit down and understand that I'm not perfect. My daughter is a different person, and her personality as well is not the same as mine. So I need to understand her and tailor-make some experiences for her to be a better person that she is. So at times, most of our frustrations comes because we like to do things like one size fits all. And we are different from personality to our upbringing to our cultural cultural beliefs. Yes, like somebody can be raised like in Kalahari or Mongwe ke Mosotho or Mongwe ke Mopedi, and obviously things are going to be different. So we need to really be empathetic and actively apply ourselves and compassionate and inclusive, be inclusive in terms of building experiences. We live in the times where everybody every day want to have an experience of positivity, of good radiance. And as a leader, because most of the things, they start with leadership. As a leader, what experience are you trying to curate for your people or maybe for yourself? Because at times it has to start with self. What experience am I starting to give myself? You cannot give from an empty space. If I'm empty, I'm always going to be receiving hollow things. So help me or maybe let me help myself to see the light, then I can try to take other people to the light. Imagine if you are in darkness and you are a leader. It means that you are taking other people to the dark. So as leaders, we also need to learn to introspect. We also need to read. Reading is one of the things that really helps people to broaden their thinking capacity, reading development books that expand your thinking, and also exercise your faith, because with faith also it builds character, and character is one of the things that when you are trying to build a nation or when you are trying to build something successful, you have to have good character. You have to be having certain attributes like resilient and perseverance for you to be able to withstand any challenge that will come through in life. So in general, or in closing, or in summary, I would just like to say Blossom by Beauty is a podcast that is going to be opening and knocking in so many doors. Expect me to knock at your office. Expect me to knock at your kotla. Expect me to knock at office of the president, because these are the conversations that we need to have. For change to happen, we need to start seeing it at the top. For it to cascade down, we need us to start implementing it at the top. I'm a mother. I sacrificed myself to be a better role model for my child, for a role model for other people. I'm not saying I'm going to be perfect all the time, but it's the willingness for me to try to want to be better. With that being said, I would like to leave you with the words of saying, we can all make this world a better place by being the person that you want people to be for you when you needed them. So are you a listener, an active listener, not somebody who just listens but no action or no input? Because at times we avoid things. We just like checking the boxes. We listen, but we don't do anything or implement. Are you a compassionate person who offers support or maybe solutions or tools that will be helpful for people to overcome their struggles? Are you a destroyer or a taker? Because as people, I think from our experiences, a lot of us, we tend to take a lot from other people without even realizing it. It's time we introspect and realize where we are in life and what we can do to improve. I would like to say thank you and bye. I can't wait to see you on the next podcast.